But, you know, we should do that. It's time to show stuff. Takes pictures and run. Wow.
This one here? This way.
He got it. He's gonna be out of line. With that.
What, in the view corner?
Oh,
box up there?
oh,
Speaker.
yeah, I think it's turtle talk. Because that's when your finger, your nail rips off. I played a guy, we had a game last night. Kid that was pitching had his kneecap dislocated twice before. He gets up for his second at bat, takes a swing, pop his kneecap. It was over here.
Oh,
So he takes it.
okay, please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can see, I gave it a couple lines for your shot.
Councilman Van Cleek,
Here.
Councilman Secreto,
Here.
Councilwoman Heener, Councilman Kitchen, Supervisor Quigley.
Here. Thank you very much for coming to the Town of Ulstertown Board meeting for Thursday, September 15th, 2022. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
Nope.
Okay. Are there any members of the public here tonight who would wish to address the town board on agenda items? Thank you. In your package is the minutes for the Town of Ulstertown Board Workshop meeting for August 4th, 2022, and the Town of Ulstertown Board meeting for August 18th, 2022. May I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented? We got a motion and a second. Any discussion on the minutes? None?
Well done.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Communications, please.
Yes, I have two letters to read that were both received via email. The first one received Friday, September 9th. Dear Town Clerk, Supervisor Quigley, and Town Board, as we approach then of another summer season, the end, I'm thinking, of another summer season at Robert Post Park and Ryder Parks, I would like to commend Randy Sowers and his crew for their dedication in keeping our parks clean and welcoming. The only sad point was the removal of a perfectly healthy tree that our local bald eagles were easily observed sitting in almost every day by the highway department. No new tree was planted in its place, even though shade is at a premium along the river edge, and do very much miss seeing the beautiful eagles up close and personal. Sincerely, Linda and Art Nelson. Second, correspondence received Thursday, September 15th. Dear Mr. Quigley, this past June, I attended a graduation party at Post Park. I was so impressed by the beautiful and well-maintained grounds. Since that day, I have visited a couple of times with my grandchildren. I wanted to take a moment to let you know what a fabulous job the park employees do in keeping the park well groomed. I wish the town of Esopus, where I live, had such a gorgeous park that was meticulously maintained the way Post Park is. Kudos to the town and the dedicated employees, Lynn, Corker, and Johnston. That concludes communications.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the abstract of claims, Mr. Van Cleek.
Review the abstract of claims. We had probably the lowest one in quite a while. Prepaid bills were $305,271.71. The abstract claims were $242, $551, and $242,551.73. Miscellaneous of $3,862.50, with the total of $551,685.94.
I'll make a motion to pass the abstract.
Any discussion on the abstract? You want to pass it around for signature?
Yep.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. I got it. Moving on to new business. In your package is the town clerk's report for the month of August 2022.
Make a motion, we accept the town clerk's report.
Do I have a second? Is there any comments that you wish to add, Ms. Reevy, to the?
No, no comments.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. In addition, in your package is the Town of Ulster Supervisor's Monthly Report for the month of August 2022. This was distributed in full via email about a week ago, 10 days ago. And I asked for acceptance of the Supervisor's Monthly Report. There is nothing in this report that I wish to highlight. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. With that, I ask that it be posted to the Town of Ulster website. Personnel?
This comes from the police department. Chief Berardi, effective 10/1/2022, I will be resigning from the position of part-time dispatcher. Past 5 years has been a pleasure working with fine men and women of this department. Keep up the hard work. I know that you and your members and residents will do the same. Thank you for everything. Dispatcher's name was John Mathiasen. Did I say that correctly?
So moved with regret.
Yeah.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. During the course of the review and a planning board approval and referral to the town board for the Rupco project on Route 28, there was considerable discussion about the implementation of a crosswalk on Route 28. In your package is a proposal from the town's traffic engineer, Creighton Manning, to prepare a study and a design for the improvements that would be required to address pedestrian traffic at that intersection. And I request permission for the supervisor to sign the engineering services agreement with Creighton Manning for an amount not to exceed $10,000 to come out of the town's budget for professional services. Do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
Any discussion on the matter?
Do they have a timetable when they think they can complete this?
I believe the proposal says 90 days.
Yes, it does. Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. If you recall, 2 years ago, the town of Ulster placed an order for a four-wheel drive plow truck. That plow truck the chassis has been delivered to the body company in Albany, and they are equipping the truck with the plow frames and the body and the salt spreader. Highway superintendent, who unfortunately is not here tonight, has asked that we declare surplus Unit 6
Yes.
in his plow truck fleet so that this may be disposed of. And I would like to say that there have been conversations with the village of Saugerties as they are short plow equipment for this coming winter. There will probably be a proposal here to sell this vehicle to the village of Saugerties at some point in the future. So may I have a motion? I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving to old business. This morning, as a result of the town board's authorization to go to bid for the ultraviolet disinfection system, Town Clerk Reevy and Wastewater Superintendent Vincent Majori opened the sealed bid for the supply of the equipment that would satisfy the requirements of replacing the ultraviolet disinfection system at the Ulster Wastewater Treatment Facility. Mr. Majori, before I call for a motion to accept the bid. Would you make an explanation of what we're doing here and the process that you are going to follow?
So what we're doing is replacing the UV system with a retrofit new technology UV system. This was one of the only application or equipment that would fit the exact footprint of the existing. And luckily, they won the bid, and we are going to install this new technology, which will save energy and do a much better job. The current system was installed in '99 and we're nursing it along as best we can. We have about a month and a half to go, and fingers crossed, we're gonna get through it.
I think you mentioned in one of your other presentations that the new units will be energy efficient in that they will be able to reduce the use as needed. Is that correct?
Yes, this technology is flow paced.
Flow paced,
So
okay.
as the flow goes up and down, the units can throttle up and down. These also have automated cleaning systems. The automated cleaning systems can be timed, whatever, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. The wipers go and they clean the sleeves. That reduces manpower. Right now, currently, I'm putting a man in that area for about a day and a half to 2 days a week. And that's all he does is clean these units.
Nobody's eager for that job.
What's that?
Nobody's eager for that job.
No, that job is not a very pleasant job. We're using 35% hydrochloric acid, which is very, very obnoxious stuff to work with. It vapors off in your face, so you have to wear a full face respirator, you have to wear gloves, face shields, everything. And yeah, it's nasty stuff to work with. And unfortunately, that's the only thing that's stripping the buildup off the quartz sleeves.
And when do you expect the equipment to be delivered?
The equipment is said to be delivered sometime in January or February. They're giving me a delivery date of the equipment.
And how long will it take you to put it in?
This install will go fairly quick. I would say a few weeks we'll have it all up and running, and we're gonna do most of this work all in-house. The bid covered startup procedures, covered installation assistance as well. So the manufacturer and the rep will be overseeing all of the construction and implementation of the new equipment.
With that, may I have a motion to accept the bid in the amount of $315,000 for Coster Associates, Inc. for the supply of the materials to be installed by the town of Ulster workforce at the Ulster wastewater sewer plant for the ultraviolet program upgrade? Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And I believe I need to rephrase that. I'm looking for a motion to accept the resolution that's in the package.
Yep.
I got a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Moving to the last item on our agenda under old business, the discussion of the town of Ulster burn ban. As you know, about a month ago, the town of Ulster was faced with a lack of rainfall and a concern over wildfires being caused by uncontrolled friendly fires that eventually became unfriendly. We instituted a state of emergency and declared a ban on burns, which was quickly mirrored by many other communities throughout the county of Ulster. We have had a change in the weather here. We've had some rain. I believe that, I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like the drought may be coming to an end here shortly. So I'd like to have a discussion on whether the town board wishes to maintain the burn ban or to make a resolution rescinding the state of emergency and the burn ban.
When would the current burn ban expire?
It was 30 days from the 19th of August. September 18th.
So if we do nothing, it expires.
If we do nothing, it expires, right?
Is there any reason to do anything sooner? Does anybody here have yard work they gotta burn up or anything?
Well, we're getting frequent phone calls from the fire chiefs. People are going to their fire stations seeking burn permits so,
I'll make a motion, we lift the burn ban.
okay, I have a resolution to offer. Res- Okay. So I'd rather not have the phone calls from the fire departments.
The high day is gonna be 81, it's gonna be in the 70s.
Sunday's gonna be the
Okay, so I offer the following resolution rescinding the state of emergency. Whereas Town Supervisor James Quigley issued a proclamation on August 19th, 2022, declaring a state of emergency in the town of Ulster due to severe drought conditions, and whereas since August 19th, 2022, there have been several rainstorms which help alleviate the drought conditions, and whereas the severe drought condition no longer exists in the town of Ulster now, therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Ulster hereby finds that the facts set forth in the recital paragraphs of this resolution support and justify ending the declaration of a state of emergency in the town of Ulster by rescinding the proclamation dated August 19th, 2022. And be it further resolved that James E. Quigley III is hereby authorized to sign the rescission of the state of emergency as attached to this resolution as Exhibit A. I have a motion by Town Board Member Kitchen. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Van Cleef, seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our scheduled agenda for tonight, and I see Mr. Cosme is here. So I'm going to give the privilege of the floor for public comment to Phil Cosme from the city of Kingston.
For 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Can I start again or?
Yeah.
My 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Phil Cosme, 278 Washington Avenue, Kingston, New York. I'm here tonight. I have been in communications with the supervisor and from what I understand, the rest of the council. About a traffic accident I had at Morton Boulevard and Ulster Avenue. The supervisor and the chief of police were kind enough to answer my questions or write what they consider answers to my questions. Unfortunately, most of my questions were not answered. At one point, he states the other driver had the green light, so she had the right of way. And contrary to what I wrote in my letter and by the driver's manual, a green light, steady green, go, but yield the right of way to other traffic at the intersection as required by law. See Chapter 5. And Chapter 5 reads, a driver who approaches an intersection may yield the right of way to traffic that is in the intersection. He then goes on to come up with this incorrect assumption that I had enough time to see the light. The turn from Morton Boulevard to Ulster is just a turn. And you have very little time to see what the light is while trying to, navigate the directional signals and see if there's people behind you in the traffic ahead. It was green as I approached that line. It turned yellow as I crossed that line. It is perfectly legal to enter an intersection. I have the law here, but I'm not going to read it. To enter an intersection under a yellow light. After I entered the intersection, I realized I was in a 4-lane highway, which turned out to be a 5-lane highway. I slowed down because there was cars lined up on the right to make sure that if the light was to change, that they didn't start moving. While I was crossing that intersection, my passenger started yelling, watch it. So I thought somebody was moving, so I slowed down even more and he yelled, watch it again. As I got into the last lane, which turned out to be the 5th lane, the other driver was coming down at full speed, 20 to 25 miles an hour, and hit me right in front of my car, in the front of my truck, knocking me at right angles. The first report was totally wrong. The officer at the scene did not talk to me other than to get my 2 cards. My passenger called and gave him the proper information. They reviewed the video. Another sergeant helped him, I believe, and the next report was accurate, except for the fact that on the reports, there's these coded numbers that assigns fault. And he still had me as being failure to yield right away, inattentive. And after the driver, the other driver admitted that she was distracted when she went to turn to give her child a drink. She came back and there I was. He didn't even put that in the side there. Now, the side, they say, just is for the insurance company, but no, it's not. It goes up to DMV. And yeah, it is for the insurance company. So I cannot get this claim settled because they still insist I was in the wrong, I was at fault. They did offer a 20% settlement because she claimed that she was distracted, which he did not put in her column. And I don't know why, and it does not explain in this letter why he did not put it in her column. All I'm asking is that my right of way, I had the right of way in that intersection. I was in there legally. She was approaching. I couldn't see her. My passenger saw her till she, was right in the intersection. So I was in the intersection. She had an obligation to yield to me. And also the fact that she was passing vehicles on the right, she had an obligation. If you prepare to pass on the right at an intersection, check the traffic ahead carefully. She did not do that. Now, this is a lady with a 1-year-old child who still to this day does not believe she did anything wrong. So she's still out there. And I'm just amazed why 4 officers I talked to in the police department, not one of them knew that if you have a green light, you still have to yield to traffic in the intersection, which he says in his report. So I was hoping to talk to the police commission and we could have a rapport back and forth, because there's a problem with the police department if they don't know this law or they're not applying it properly. And 3 months out now, I've been without my vehicle. And, I can't get this settled until this report. Otherwise, I have to get a lawyer and go to start a civil action because I'm above the small claims limit to get this resolved so I can get my just compensation. So I'm asking, I'll be more than happy to meet, in whatever to hammer this thing out because it's just wrong.
So let me just understand something.
Sure.
By modifying this report in the manner in which you request, it will result in a higher insurance settlement for you. Is that the bottom line?
Well, yeah, it'll compensate because right now we're at 20%. If I get that out, I get the 100%, or they have no grounds to stand on. So
Okay.
they're the only ones benefiting from this.
Comments from the town board? Okay. This is in the hand of Chief Berardi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any additional individuals here tonight who wish to address the Town of Ulster Town Board? Hearing none? Who had the pool tonight? I can delay it to get the pool a little longer. All those,
I still have like 5 minutes.
all those in favor? Aye, this motion.